There's so much happening right now. I'm glad we are live. Welcome back to the Black Rasslin Podcast, BRP. I never know. Matter of fact, let me throw in a little bit of music. I want to get the people in here. As a matter of fact, the people do need to be in here because
people not in here yet.
I mean,
I'm surprised.
We just went live. It's only. It's some people, but I want to, because when you're in a situation where you have very, 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 very special guests on the way, want to make sure that you got some people in there. But
I don't even think the guest understands how near and dear that this motherfucker is to our hearts.
Nah, I probably not.
It's here. He is here.
Right there. Matter of fact, actually, we got some people in here. So, I mean, do you want to talk to them about this, huh?
Who? I want to talk to who?
The guests.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we could let a couple people filter in, because the early crowd is normally a couple.
They at the door. They paid they $25.
Can lose in here.
Get in early.
I wanted to mention early too. Super Chats is back.
Whoop whoop.
Super Chats is back.
Put your money in here, nigga. We need.
Sean put his chairs in here.
Yeah, fam got the Ricky Steamboat on. I don't know. That's gonna be a bad conversation later on. I already know it. Because
it ain't gonna be that bad of a conversation. It's a Ricky. That's a hoe out here now, though. You know what I mean?
Salute. All right, we got some. I want to get to this conversation. We only got so much time. So, squad's all here. Sometimes it's not just about us, though. Recently, salutes to Wesley. We had Wesley on. Wesley, a lot of people's favorites on the BRP 50.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it a stack though. The person we have on the show tonight, my favorite on the BRP 50.
No. It's
my favorite.
Our favorites.
Everybody favorite. I mean, I guess that's why they call him the All-Father.
The All-Father.
Wrestling's richest prize.
Fuck that shit.
The current Catalyst Wrestling Champion. The current WOW Heavyweight Champion 4 times. As well as being the current BCW Heavyweight Champion. Number 15 on the BRP 50. I'm going to tell you, that's the most important number we got right now.
That's right.
Everybody in the chat, BRP Squad, welcome to the Cold Open, Mr. Darius Carter.
Woo!
In living color.
Big fact.
Put him on a big screen.
He is on a big.
Read that there, Mr. Darius Kingston Carter. Okay, that Kingston representing.
Mr. Darius Kingston Carter. How you doing, man? Welcome to the pod, man. I appreciate you coming out for real.
Thank you for having me. Listen, When I watch all these lists, I view them all, and when I'm looking at this list, I'm seeing the countdown, and I'm like, there's no way I'm not on this list. And listen, I get it, personal preference, this and that. I'm like, all right, but I'm looking at this list, and I'm like, there's no way that maybe I missed it. And then I saw that I was 15. I said, oh, goodness gracious. I said, somebody's paying attention. I love when people are using their eyes, their ears, their mouth, and their nose, and they're paying attention to the game. Because you can smell it, you can smell it, you can feel it, you can touch it. That's the game. And I'm glad to be seen. So thank you for acknowledging the All-Father.
Well, speaking of, if I can just jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
I watch your Twitter feed. And every show, you give almost ESPN level, in my opinion, commentary on whatever it is whatever match is happening, whatever match is going on. And I personally feel like you give that 1985 feel. Like it feels like you have come from that foundation, from your ring entrance to the coat that you wear. I was enamored. These guys brought me into indies wrestling, and I was when the music hit, the way you walked in, it's a movement, and I just you can't keep your eyes off of you because you go into full details character, and I was excited. I love period drama, and I felt like I was watching a period drama. Your entrance alone, and watching your commentary on Twitter for all these matches, all these shows, it feels like you have. It's almost like you're classically trained. That's the word that I wanted. That's the analogy I want to use. It feels like you're classically trained. Do you feel like that's the type of training that you have? Because from the robe to everything, it just feels like you've gone into the bag of wrestling, like the true bag of wrestling, and you just go full throttle.
No, I appreciate that. That's what I'm what I'm looking to present. That's the presentation. So again, it means a lot when people are paying attention to that, because that's what I'm giving. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the little things, people don't add them up to larger things. Sometimes people miss the little things. My mindset was always, I don't want you to be looking away for a moment. And you can't control human nature. People are going to look on a cell phone. They're going to look to their friend. But when from my entrance music, from the beginning to the end, when I win the match, I don't want anyone's focus to be shifted from what I'm doing. And I don't need to be running the ropes every 10 seconds and climbing the top and jumping off and doing these unique, flashy maneuvers to capture somebody's attention. And that's always the message that I am looking to convey, is that you can capture people's attention through other means. And the people that I studied and idolized, and you know, the guys like Ric Flair and people like William Regal and Nick Bockwinkel and Billy Robinson and, you know, Randy Orton, guys that they all have that thing in common of making things really, truly matter. You know, not, you know, hit a move. Okay, now let's get the guy up, set him up for the next thing. Feels like it's a multiple act play. For me, it's every single moment you're watching. You know, you're just like, what's he gonna do next? I mean, it could be a stomp, it could be gouging an eye, it could be pulling someone by the ear. Little things where someone's like, oh, you know, oh, did you see that? Oh my God. That's what it's about for me. So it's great to have that scene and to be acknowledged for that. You know, I know that word gets overused kind of now, but it's the word it is what it is. It's A in the alphabet, you know. But it's great to be recognized, because I do think about all these things. I'm not just going out there and just, you know, coming up with something, you know, and hoping for the best. You know, everything that I'm doing is meticulous. It's well crafted. It's well thought out, and my opponent's feeling it, so the crowd should feel it too.
So every time I've seen, what's going on, Brother Carter? Every time I've seen you walk into a building, suited, booted, on the way in, on the way out, clean. There's a coolness to you, right? However, that coolness feels like it doesn't need to come through any other way, anywhere other than, you know, how you present yourself. Is that on purpose? Are you trying to make sure that you don't be the cool dastardly guy?
Yeah. So the whole point of me, and this is why I don't sell merchandise, which a lot of people ask me, where can I get a Darius Carter shirt? Where can I get a Darius Carter scarf? To which I say, how could you afford a Darius Carter scarf? How could you afford what I wear? Am I supposed to sell? You know, the average price is $25. Am I supposed to sell a $25 scarf, a $50 scarf, and now you're like me? That's not how that works. So the whole point of Darius Carter is exclusivity. So yes, I can wear suits and be dressed to the 9s, to the 10s, but it's not welcoming to you, and it's not for you. I think that's the difference. I think a lot of people try to dress up now and their suits don't fit. And some of these people are on TV and holding championships on TV. And I'm just like, that's interesting how there's all this room in you could fit a leg in between your suit and between.
Hey, you can leave Steve Harvey alone. It's
okay. hey. I mean, I'm always that person. I don't know. I look when I a lot of people, they see a suit and they're just immediately, they're like, oh, but the detailed eye, you're looking at the shoes, you're looking, okay, you know, what's the shirt underneath? Because you could throw on a suit off the rack and just throw it on. But then you're wearing sneakers and it's like, you know, it's little things like that. I don't get anything off the rack, and I get everything custom fitted because I want it to feel like it's mine. You know, even if it's a few adjustments to the shoulder, to the waist, to the hip, I want my suits, my attire to feel like it's particularly made for me. And that's just something that's how my mind works. So it's exclusivity. It's not doing it for the fans. It's not doing it because I want you to like me. It's doing it because the people I idolized, again, did that. Ric Flair did that. William Regal did that. Nick Bockwinkel in the 70s and 80s did that. You weren't seeing other guys do that. You weren't seeing people in their time really doing that. You know, even back then, you know, a lot of the top stars weren't always wearing suits. And if they did, it would be here and there. You know, Ric Flair all the time. William Regal, you couldn't catch that man outside of a suit. And that's, and again, Bockwinkel, couldn't catch him outside of a suit. And that to me is how I built myself. That's how I see the craft. I see the sport. I see the sport of professional wrestling. Of course, there's the entertainment aspect, and I'm, of course, there for that as well. It's sports entertainment. But the sport and the legitimacy comes with how you bring yourself to the game. It's not just what you do in the ring. It's not just, okay, I'm going to wrestle a technical match. I love wrestling. I love the sport. No, it's how you carry yourself outside of the ring. And I carry myself in a way that is intimidating to a lot of people. A lot of people are actually scared. They're afraid to approach me, you know, because of the way that I carry myself. And that's good. That's good because I don't want everyone approaching me. And, you know, and again, then there's fine folks like you who will see that and say, okay, you know, this is a star. And maybe I don't approach him particularly. Maybe I don't, you know, maybe I will contact him on the side or do something like that, but I'm watching him. And I get a lot of that. I get a lot of people that are just like, hey, I've been looking at you for a long time. I wouldn't know, you know. People that don't like and retweet my stuff will come up to me and tell me they watch me. So it's like how you never know who's watching. I have people on TV that don't follow me, don't retweet, don't like, and they come over to me and they're like, I've been watching you for years. And I'm like, so that's the game. You know, you always have to perform like you don't know who's watching you. And you always have to look like you don't know who's looking at you, because I could be at one show and all of a sudden someone pulls me aside afterwards and I have an opportunity. That's how quick things happen. So I always make sure that I'm on top of my game.
I love it.
Spitting facts for real, for real. I wanted to say thank you, Mr. Carter, because recently I want to let you know why though. Recently,
there's a reason. Okay.
Recently, New Jobber City went down.
Yes,
and you were announced as the very special tag team partner in a match where you got to beat the ever-loving crap out of that liar, Sir Wilkins. I wanted to say thank you for doing what a lot of us, because that lion scum was on this. He lied to my face about even wrestling on that show. And when I saw that it was Darius Carter that was on the other side of that ring, stomping a mud hole in that liar, I thank you so much. Do you appreciate being able to like come as a surprise on shows like that and then get out there and stomp a mud hole in a liar like Sir Wilkins?
I love so little things like that, right? Not often do I get to be a surprise, especially when I was already advertised for the show. So that was so there's a lot of layers to that, and I hope people understand the uniqueness of it. It's not like I was unannounced. It's not like you didn't know I was going to be there. You knew that Darius Carter was there. I had the Brass Ring Invitational that I've been promoting, you know, the 15th Brass Ring Invitational, my 14-0 record, undefeated, and I've beaten some people that are on TV now in the Brass Ring Invitational, people like EC3, you know, people like the Flip Gordons of the world. You know, I've beaten them all. I used that invitational to not just as an opportunity for myself, but for my opponent, and to show that I can be promoted and advertised by myself. You know, a lot of times my opponent is a big name opponent and they're not announced prematurely. That just goes to show you that you need to be at a show that Darius Carter is at. So I love the Invitational. Came back up with that back in around 2015. And it's been something that gets used periodically here and there. It's my version of an open challenge. And again, I think it's unique because you never know who it's going to be. It could be male, it could be female, it could be someone that was just off of TV, it could be somebody that's coming up on the rise. And next thing you know, you're wrestling, you know, the All-Father, you know.
Right.
So I promoted that very heavy, and I was thinking to myself, like, wow, I was like, people might actually know that it's going to be me as a surprise because I haven't been on the entire show and I've been advertised. So I was thinking to myself, like, people might actually suspect that it's going to be me. So when my music hit and that reaction, I heard that reaction and that orchestral reaction, I was like, okay, you can make people, you learn something new every day, and you realize that when you have something like that going on, Jobber Slam, which was a multi-hour event, you know, and people were up on their feet 4 hours into the show. And that's not something, that's a testament, right? And this is one of the biggest Black hosted shows of the year. So for me to have come out there and to hear that reaction, it's almost as if everyone kind of forgot. And that's a good thing, in a good way. They forgot about the Invitational and that I was there. That is a special gift unto itself, because I could have just been unadvertised, but I was advertised for a match, and people still bit into it every inch of the way, and that's engagement, and that's a moment for me, a checkpoint moment where you say to yourself, okay, like, you know, you got to realize how far you've come, and you know, you're always looking to the next thing, you're always looking to, you know, what lies ahead over the mountaintop. But I've always been somebody that kind of works in the moment as well. And I think that's why I have this longevity, and that's why I don't have this bitterness, because I'm always in the moment. I'm always on my next place, on my next promotion. And I'm not sweating when or what time I'm going to get picked up, because I'll be the best version of me when I do. And there's a whole lot of reasons why someone with the talent and the pedigree, the look, the feel, there's a lot of reasons why that person doesn't end up on TV. And a lot of it is stuff I can't control anyway. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the forum writers and it's not all of it's on the fan side. Some it's on the wrestler side, and jealousy and envy and malcontent, and, you know, because I did it myself. I did it self-made. I did it without relying on anybody. I did it without riding a coattail. I have people riding my coattails, and I'm, you know, someone who made it myself. I have people that are on TV that have jumped on the coattail, that have jumped on the Darius Carter train. So it's okay, because my success resonates. I see the results of my success, and that to me makes me smile. That to me says, okay, it's only a matter of that. It's only a matter of time, you know. And until then, you can't fall off. You can't get arrogant. You can't get complacent. You have to keep delivering. And everywhere I go, it's about delivering. You know, that match, Simon Miller's, okay, he wrestles, but he's not a wrestler, right? And then you have, Wilkins, who's most certainly not a wrestler. So I was in there with, of 4 people, there's only 2 of us that are wrestlers. And even then, Encore's a few years in, and he's having a tremendous few years, but still, it's only a few years. So I had more years combined than all of them, probably 4 times over. So I kind of have to be that person to, direct, control, produce, maneuver, orchestrate the match. And another career achievement for me in the back of my mind that I'm not going to go out there and always talk about, because a lot of it is, just you should see it for yourself. But that show, that event, and that reaction 4 hours into a show where I was already advertised, I said, all right, got to stop and smell the roses.
Something's working, yeah. Those moments. Indeed.
Were you Was it that surprising when the prior Jabba Tears event you got the same reaction? You got that reaction. That was Steve Pena, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, Steve Pena, and then after Pena was Jorge Santi. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got that same reaction. So was it that surprising when you came through that curtain, or when you heard them, when they heard your music and you heard that response? Was it that surprising to you?
So, to clarify, I'm not saying that the reaction itself was surprising, right? And I say that as humbly as possible, because I know that I'm going out there to earn a reaction. No matter when you hear Darius Carter, okay, sure, there's a reaction that's expected, but I'm still going out there to further earn and magnify that reaction. So to me, it's circumstantial. I look at everything from an overarching connected view. I don't just look at it as, okay, reaction. I look at it as, again, I was advertised, and we had gotten to the main event, and there was no Darius Carter. So people were there to see a Darius Carter match, and they might not have known what happened. They might have thought the card was subject to change. They might have thought that I wasn't there because not everyone saw me come in.
Right.
So there was a lot of there was definitely like a maybe an element of what are people going to how are people going to receive this, right? And I knew it was going to be great, but am I really a surprise? And that's what I was thinking of more with the reaction. The reaction was that of, we didn't even know he was here, or we didn't expect this. And that's the part of it that was so enthralling to me, because there was people in the crowd that some people did see me come in, and they were waiting for that match, and they still gave that reaction as if they had no idea I was there. There's something different about that. There's something about being a surprise, but still advertised. That's not something that you see a lot of. And that's what I'm trying to drive home there, is that reaction was like as if they had no idea I was in the building or was going to be part of the show.
Right.
I think I told Fam, I don't think it's coming on. I don't think he's coming. I don't think anybody was going to challenge you. And then when you came out, I was happy.
Right.
Look at this.
And that's
what a difference a year makes.
Look. He blushing and
happy.
That's that mentality. So that's a gift. You know, and you have to realize that people are paying attention and watching your work. When I mean the roof, you know, the roof was on fire and I was gonna let it burn, you know. So
you can sing the real version here. You can sing the real version.
No, but it was didn't need any water, and I was going to let that mother burn. All right. So let's put it that way. So it was very not cathartic, right? Because again, I expected a great reaction, but it was just very okay. You know, there's so many levels of thought, and you can't ever get lost in that, you know? And I always try to think like the fan. I always try to think like the consumer of the product, not just somebody that's giving you the product, not just the person that's selling the Swiffer, but the person that would be interested in it. You know, you have to know who you're appealing to. And I always felt like I catered to really, in terms of engagement, I cater to all demographics. Obviously, me as a person, I'm not here for everybody. But for me, I find that I'm relatable to kids. I'm relatable to a teenager. I'm relatable to adults, because to kids, I'm that it's almost like the cartoon characters where you don't see their head. You know, you just see their body because they're so unattainable. You know, that's what I look to when I'm targeting the kids. It's like I can't even, kids can't even fathom that someone like me exists. A teenager is just, you know, teenagers, oh, this guy is, you know, they're about to throw garbage too, like the kids. And then adults are like, well, I have a boss like this, and I can't stand my boss. You know, my boss's boss is like this. We see him once a month, and I don't want to be around him. So it's about being relatable to all people. And that's a great thing, man. When I could have teenagers acting like kids,
I love it.
You know, kids, you know, reaching over the guardrail and trying to, you know, that's old school, right? That's what real tradition is being able to engage the fan across the board, not just, I'm targeting 18 to 39 demographic. I know I'm targeting the buying demographic. The kids are the ones that are getting all that are producing for the business because the parents are buying for the kids. So if you think that money is just coming from people that are teenagers and above, you're missing the entire point of what we do. And that's what my role is to cater to each and every demographic. I have people. You have someone in India watching. I can have someone in anywhere in the world, Europe watching, Japan watching, and being like, I can relate to that person. So
I love it.
It's that balance of being multifaceted, but also being exclusive, and that's the point that I keep wanting to alliterate. Is there's a way to be open-ended, but also so specific. That you keep people guessing. You get what I'm saying? And you keep people guessing. I keep people guessing to no one's business. I have promoters guessing. That's part of the reason why some of them don't even know what to do. They're probably afraid to reach out to me because they're guessing. They don't know what's going on. Right. And I have people spinning in wheels. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Take it as it is and put it on a pedestal and put it on a stage. And that's always what I wanted to be. Is you take somebody. You want to find, some people you feel like you have to edit, you have to For me, I always wanted to be somebody that you could, all right, this guy, put him out there. Yeah. And that's what I pride myself on. And that's why I don't sweat not being signed or what have you, because I only get better each outing. And I'm going to be the best version of myself. And there's going to be so much of I told you so, not so much from me, but from other people that are like, and I can't wait for that because there's like a movement of I told you so about Darius Carter. And that place that picks me up is going to be like amazed. It's going to be amazing because I don't think they're going to see it coming. So it's going to be fun.
They're not going to have anybody that's got the views on World Star like Mr. Darius Carter does. How does that feel? Like randomly to have, because I mean that's it's not even like that match just happened. That was a clip from a minute ago, and but that you like for a week. You were the talk. Did you get any more teen fans off that?
Definitely, I've definitely gotten messages, and I don't answer them, but I get them from people. I see them. You got the primary, the general. You know how that is. Those messages,
right?
And, a ton of them. And again, I get some messages that are all in Chinese or in Japanese. You got to translate. So that's how I know people are watching. And it's like, and I mentioned India because there's a lot of that too. They love the intergender wrestling, but still I get messages all the time. Yes, sir. I get messages all the time. And I'm checking them out because you should, again, know who's watching you. And the ones that are speaking, because there's a lot that are watching you that aren't speaking. So the ones that are speaking, you do want to pick that up and just kind of, all right, let me throw that in the notebook. Let me throw that in the Rolodex there of, okay, you're paying attention. And that's what this is all about. That's what this whole game is about. It's like being for everyone, but also being for the fine-tuned fan. So now it's a funnel, right? So everyone can come into the funnel and you can stay at that top level if you want, but you can really get down to the core of Carter. You can stay up there and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to get deeper, you can. And I don't think there are a lot of wrestlers that are offering that level of depth. And I mean anywhere. I'm not just talking indies. It's, when you're in a big company, you have the machine behind you to generate that interest for you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a wrestler generating their own interest, their own following. And that's why I said right into the Battle Club camera, and I was just feeling it. And I just said, get on the wagon because it's filling up.
It's filling up.
Everyone wants to feel like they were a part of the popular act. And my whole thing is I was never the popular act. I made myself the top act, which just so happens to now become popular because there's nobody on the scene like me. And the more people are watching, the more wrestling you consume, the more you realize that there's not another Darius Carter. And that's the gift of this wrestling now is there's so much wrestling going on and you still don't see me anywhere. You still aren't seeing Darius Carter. You're not seeing him on TV. You're not seeing him in WWE. You're not seeing him in AEW. You're not seeing him in Impact. You're not seeing him in MLW. You're not seeing him in NWA. You're not seeing him anywhere. You know where you're seeing Darius Carter? On the Indies. You know where you're seeing Darius Carter? At that next Warriors of Wrestling show, at that next Battle Club show, at that next Pro Wrestling Magic show, at that BCW show. I'm my own ticket seller. I'm my own draw. I'm my own point of interest. That's it. And then once I get somewhere, now you're looking, well, I want to see Darius Carter in Impact because I've seen him on the independents. So what? Now he's interacting with these new people. That's the gift of it. I mean, there's so much life to it. And that's like, I've been in the game a long time, and it's nice to have that hump to go over, because there's so many people that, for all the people I've interacted with, there's a lot of people that I haven't. And there's a lot of money to be made with me interacting with these people. So all it takes is for somebody to look at their money and say, wow, I'd like to make more. And look around their locker room and say, wow, I don't have somebody that's doing what he's doing. Because a lot of people are content. There's a lot of complacency in wrestling. Even though there's a ton of it all over the place, there's still a lot of complacency, because you still have the hierarchy of, there's the WWE, then there's AEW. Ring of Honor is really the same. So with AEW, so there's WWE, there's AEW, there's Impact, and then there's everyone else, right? So we still have that hierarchy despite all of the wrestling promotions that are going on. So what makes them different is that's the stars that you bring on. That's the people that you promote. So the one that picks me up are going to see all that money that they put into me return tenfold. And that's the way of the game.
Super talk.
You talked about being in the ring with a bunch of like inexperienced folks, and your experience kind of being more than everybody there. The beginning of when you started doing this thing that you do you notice the more varied iterations of Black pro wrestlers? Like, and the different types of Black wrestlers that are around now, does that allow you kind of to slide deeper and deeper into who Darius Carter is?
I would say so, but I was going to do that anyway. I don't think that that's affecting my growth. I don't think that's affecting my evolution, because I'm always in my own lane, right? That's the thing, is outside influences that, you're picking up as you go along. There's always an addition. There's always a wrinkle that's being added. But at the same token, I was going to go through this evolution with or without Black wrestlers around me going through that movement. Now, it's great to see that there's a level of depth that is being seen, because there's been a level of depth to Black wrestlers for a long time. We just didn't have that promotion. We just didn't have that promote that, not just promotion, but we didn't have the advertising. We didn't have the backing, right? So, Tony Atlas was not the same wrestler, as Rocky. He was not. Even if they were a tag team, they were different. Same thing with Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons was different from Coco Beware, who was different from Junkyard Dog. You know what I mean? It's just, we only saw one pushed at a time. We only saw one promoted at a time. It was almost like you can't have multiple versions of a Black wrestler promoted at one time. And it's, it wasn't spoken, but it was felt. Yeah. And that's why Booker T felt so fresh when you saw him. And then in 2000, and he gets it from Jeff Jarrett. It's like, because it's fresh, because we haven't seen a Black wrestler on top, in a while. And now we're just starting to get there now. We're just starting to get to the point where now we have Black WWE champions. You have more Black WWE champions in the past 5 years than we had in the previous 40. So it's
That's right.
So come on now. And it's not that we're jumping on a movement. It's because, guess what? The best wrestler you had for a while was Bobby Lashley. And then the best you had for a minute was Big E. I mean, these people, they earned it, not off of color, but out of building a reputation. And we have to work harder to get to the same level. And we know that's what it is. So that's why I always knew that it was going to take longer for me to get somewhere, because I am immensely intimidating to the average white male, especially to a promoter. I am Black. I am intelligent. I am well put together. I am sharp. I am aware of what I need to do. I'm very proficient. That is horrifying for someone who does not know you. That is horrifying and harrowing for someone to take on. It's a project, and they're like, oh, we'd rather take this guy who I know, who's my friend, and let's put a little bit of Carter in him, and let's see how that goes. I see it all the time. And it's like, okay, and he may be a champion, but if you had the real thing, you wouldn't have to do all that stuff for him. He'd be doing it for you.
Right.
So there's a whole lot of, and that's what I love to see, because I have a lot of conversations with young black wrestlers. Someone I bring up is Jay Bougie, because Jay Bougie is always reaching out to me. He's always messaging me, and I'm not putting him on the spot because he'll go out there and say it himself. He is a student of the game, and he's another one that doesn't get just due, and he gets, he's outspoken, he's loud, he's this and that. And I'm like, listen, people thought that about me when I was coming up, and people may still think that now, but people like that, we have to push back. Right. Because you can't just sit here and be doormatted and wait for people to stop stepping on you. Oh, look, the coast is clear. There's no coast is clear. Right. It doesn't come. And if it is, it's momentary. So you can't wait for your moment. I'm not waiting for my moment. I'm going out there and making it every show. Now, when I get picked up is when I get picked up, but I'm not waiting. I'm not looking at my clock and saying my watch and saying, wow, today's the 10th, waiting for someone to call me. No, because there's a lot of reasons why they don't place that call. There's a lot of reasons why they aren't sure or why they're uncertain. It could be someone in their locker room that's saying something because they're envious. It could be one of their fan bases, or it could just be the promoter not being able to look past their own locker room. Right. So there's a lot of reasons, and I don't particularly hold that against certain people. You have to do what you have to do. And I have people coming up to me and talking to me, and other young black talent that'll come up to me and ask, and I love it. I had a conversation with Culture Inc. at Battle Club. I love to see it. I love to see guys like that and Lucky Ali coming up and from the South to the North making those moves. There's not just a lot of us, but there's a lot, and it's not just that we're talented, it's that we're different. I mean, there's so much variety in black wrestling. There's so much variety, and you're just seeing that door open now because it's becoming acceptable. We've been there for a long time. It's just now it's okay. And that's why more people will notice, hey, look, there's Darius Carter. There's a lot of reasons why people are catching on to me now. And one of them is because of that increased black movement. And I keep saying all the time, I'm like, I'm at the top of the culture. I mean, I don't get the promotion or the respect across the board from certain people, but I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm there challenging Trish Adora and in many ways besting Trish Adora. I just don't have the title, but I'm still the one. You know what I mean? I've been trending since March 30th, WrestleMania week, with Game Changer Wrestling, and I have not wrestled for Game Changer Wrestling since. So there are reasons. There are things going on. I'm trend to a phenomenon.
Damn.
Now it's a pile driver phenomenon is what I'm calling it. I'm calling it it goes from a trend to a phenomenon. That's why I say it's an evolution, right? You can trend for a bit. At some point, you're trending so much, you're more than a trend. And that's what I'm calling it. Hashtag pile driver phenomenon. I know a lot of people can't say phenomenon, so that might be hard for them. But that's what it is. Okay? There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And then you got certain places like TikTok, it's getting deleted. It gets reposted. Come on. Look at that. One move.
It's amazing.
That match. When you it was a 7-way scramble with some of the top names in the culture. Faye Jackson, Keita Murray, Teriyaki. We see these people. And I not only won the match, but I created the most memorable moment of that match, and one of, if not the most memorable moments of the entire show, because the show was fantastic. But when we talk about what's trending from that show,
it's the pile driver.
World Star.
I thought the match that you and Faye had at Fight was way more violent. Y'all on top of the bar. What's the feel like? What's the feeling about like men and women getting into, you know what I'm saying, back and forth, and what, because it's not something you see a lot on television, but you see it a lot at these shows, these independent shows.
Right.
And you're not afraid to do it.
What was the question? They were going a little bit in and out.
Oh, did you?
Oh, no, my question was, what are your thoughts about, you see a lot more men and women going back and forth on the indies. How do you feel about the mixed gender matches? Do you think they have a place on television, or is that something that should stick kind of where they are on the indies?
Absolutely has a place on television. Absolutely has a place on television. You want to know why it has a place on television? Because it makes money. Anything that makes money in professional wrestling has a place. Now, it may not last forever. It may be on certain cards. But, I mean, WWE had the mixed match challenge. I mean, they didn't have them always touching each other, but you knew, they know that there's money in it. It's just you have a PG audience, so you have to be careful. I understand that, right?
Yeah.
But if they didn't understand that there was revenue to be made, there wouldn't have been a mixed match challenge at all. At all, period. So it depends on the promotion, because, again, are you catering to you have sponsors, you have PG, you can integrate it in certain ways. What I don't particularly like are women attacking men, but men not being able to attack them back, because it sends in a message of inequality in wrestling, and we already know what wrestling is. So for a woman to be beating up on a man, and then the man, there's not a dude that's able to get her back. I mean, that's why Randy Orton, it's like when you see Orton show up, you're like, great, because you know the girl's going to get an RKO or something. And, you know, but other people, it's like, you know, all right, well, you know, you're beating up this dude, but when does she get her comeuppance, right? That's why the Nia Jax moment in the Rumble a few years back was so big, because Nia Jax came out there, ravaged dudes. Okay, great. And then next thing you know, bam, Dolph Ziggler super kick. Bam, 619. Bam, RKO. I mean, she's bigger than a lot of guys. She can beat up. Why is she weaker because she's a woman?
Right.
She's not. And that's the message. If you can convey that message on a grander scale, you're set. And that's why I wrestle women the way that I wrestle them. It's never just, guy-girl match. You both trade off moves and stand up and high-five and handshake. It's brutal, because that's what it would be. You know, if you saw me in the ring with, with a girl, you see me in the ring with Saraya Knight, who was Paige's mother, you know, and that was one of my favorites. I was slapping her down, and she's tough. She's tougher than a lot of guys that I've wrestled, and that's real talk. But I was slapping her down, and that's because that's how it would go. That's how it would go. That's it's reality in a controlled environment. When you see Darius Carter go up against, Janai Kai. Hey, Janai, you're tough, but guess what? You get one too. You get one too. Boom, slap across the face. She's down. Because you can have all the kicks and all the Muay Thai and all the training in the world, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, okay? I am a wrestler. I am a grappler. I am an amateur. I didn't get to do all the amateur wrestling that I wish I did, you know, but I am a based wrestler. And when I swoop you up, I don't care if you're a man, woman, anything on the spectrum. You get dropped the same, because in wrestling, it's about competition. The best of the best come to wrestle the best.
The best.
Man,
the
woman,
best.
And that's what
transgender,
wow. Look at that.
Thank you. Talk about
the best.
Talk about the Super 8. Talk about the Super 8.
The best.
By the way, my first round opponent was Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton. Not
God
Ricky
rest
Morton's
his soul.
son.
He ain't dead, but
Ricky
pray for him anyway.
Morton.
Slap him
What happened to
down.
Rock and Roll Express? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? This is what we mean. And again, with intergender wrestling, that's why I'm kind of amazed that like a place like AEW hasn't really done it much, because they're not really catering much to sponsors based with all the expletives that they use on TV. So it's clear that you're not really catering to that. So I'm just amazed that we haven't had more of that, because that seems like the promotion where you'd be able to do it.
Right.
But again, I'm not in the locker room, but there's a lot of places that can take that shot. You see Impact doing it. Impact, listen, I have Impact on Roku, and I have the Impact channel. So 223. So I watch it, and there's intergender going on there. There's mixed wrestling going on there, and nobody's batting an eyelash. Nobody's surprised to see Jordan Grace muscle bustering, Ace Austin.
I seen Jordan Grace's shoulders.
Yeah, right. I mean, at some point, Jordan's wrestling all these girls, but when you're built like that,
right,
you're gonna wrestle some guys too.
Yeah.
And you can take a hit, and we get it, and we can believe it. China was out there doing it, but China helped set the trend, but nobody has been able to follow in that footsteps, in her footsteps, because there hasn't been another China, but also because we're not building people to that position.
Yeah.
And there's got to be a match out there. And listen, I could be that match. Who knows? I could be the first, intergender match on mainstream television. Who knows? Because I've done it for so many years. Yeah. I've picked up so many views and so many fans and so much of the bandwagon hopping. I've gotten so many people jumping in because they saw me wrestle somebody a certain way, and they said, "Wow, you hit her like a woman. Like you hit her like she's a woman, not like." You're two spotty competitor athletes that are trying to outmaneuver each other. You caught her you hit her with a euro and she dropped, and you kick dirt on her. I mean, we're watching this for a reason. We all know why we're watching this. We want to see that brutality. We want to see that viciousness, because that's what we're supposed to be. If you don't want to win that bad, then what? Then I don't want to watch you win.
That's right.
Yeah, I paid good money to see Darius Carter sock Rhea Ripley, but
hey, let's go.
Right.
I mean, and listen, I got love for it. Rhea's fantastic, and it's not her choice. But I bet you, if you asked her, she would be like, "I'm good to wrestle, guys."
That's right.
It looked like they dangling their feet over that goddamn cliff every once in a while. She'll step in front of somebody.
Right, and then she gets her comeuppance from a woman. It's like, okay, fine, but. You waiting for Orton to come back, because again, that there can be some sort of discipline in wrestling. There has to be discipline.
Yeah.
There's cause and effect, action, reaction. And if the crowd is seeing a whole bunch of action with no reaction, they start to wonder. So you're kind of tickling some interesting territory when you have someone beating up guys, but then she's not getting a comeuppance from a guy. It's like, that's interesting territory. And again, do as you will, but. For me, it's time for mixed gender wrestling to at least get an opportunity on that main stage. Again, Impact gets their credit, but Impact is not seen like that, unfortunately. Right. So it's like you need that on a larger stage, on a AEW, a Ring of Honor. I mean, those places are places where I would expect it to happen first, because again, sponsorships are totally different than WWE. But who knows?
We'll see. Damn. What's next, Mr. Carter? I know you got a couple of shows lined up. Can you talk to the people? Where can you be seen in the very near future?
So I actually have a show tomorrow. That's Warriors of Wrestling. That's St. Finbar's Church in Brooklyn. I'll be wrestling against TJ Marconi. He just won the title from me. Things are temporary. He did that 3 weeks ago. And I'm going to literally end his day. I'm going to end his reign in 21 days. It's going to be amazing. The only thing better than winning a championship is winning it back from someone who took it from you. And what's funny is the last 4+ years of Warriors, nobody has held a championship of any kind longer than I have. I have over a year's worth of days as champion split up. So I've been the guy. I've been there one. When you think of Warriors of Wrestling, which has been running for 16 years, we're talking 217,000 subscribers on YouTube. Top 15 of any wrestling promotion anywhere. Okay? And here I am, their most decorated champion. A black man.
A black man.
A black man.
A black man.
Please believe it. I'm the one that's made more history than anyone in that company. 4-time heavyweight champion. 2-time no limits champion. Won King of New York tournament. King of New York tournament 2021. Ultimate Survival winner, which is their version of the Royal Rumble 2015. I have won every single singles accolade there is to win in that promotion. I'm their guy. I'm the one that they put the buck on. I'm the one that's always in the front and in the center of the promotion and of the poster. You can have the names come in, like that'll do signings or what have you, because Warriors always has names coming in. Let's say like Victoria. Let's say like Shane Douglas. Tomorrow they're going to have Xia Brookside, who I'm a fan of because I loved NXT UK, which is what most of NXT is now. So, which people don't recognize. But, she's going to be there and she's going to get to witness me. And maybe she'll tell her dad, Robbie, and maybe Robbie will be watching. Who knows? But the point of this is I will be reclaiming my championship. I'm quick with it. I will be regaining my championship. I want to say retaining because I feel like I never really lost it. But I will be getting that back in Brooklyn. And then Saturday, I'll actually be at the 85th annual Middlesex County Fair. They've been running, 86. We're talking about 85 years.
85 years, shit.
Right off Cranberry Road, 655 Cranberry Road. And I haven't done that in many, many years. It's probably, I want to guess like 2015, maybe.
Who's the victim?
Yeah, I want to say 15. Let's say 2015. So I haven't there. They have not seen this version of Darius Carter. So I'll be part of UWA Elites running there because they're the promotion that does those fair shows. They do those every year. So that's Friday in Brooklyn. That's Saturday, East Brunswick, New Jersey. And then have some other things coming up before the month ends, which you will see more of. August 26th, I'll actually be with Warriors again, but we're going to be at Breezy Point in New York. Breezy Point, a lot of children, a lot of kids. And last time I was there, the kids were throwing pretzels and, the kids were all booing other people, but they were throwing food and drinks into the ring. They actually threw a Gatorade bottle in. Yeah, threw a Gatorade bottle before the match, before we even locked up. And commentator, Shane Fair had to go on there and say, all right, we can't throw bottles in the ring. But that's what I love. I feed on that. People aren't doing that. I'm not talking about toilet paper or streamers. I'm talking food. I'm talking.
He's going to eat that.
Right.
All right. Instead of eating that pretzel that you just bought. I mean, are we thinking about this? Instead of I drank that, I'm going to throw it in the ring. I'm so frustrated. I don't even want to eat this anymore.
That's power. That's power.
Talk about it. It's not, let me boo, and that's the next level. I want you to throw your chair in the ring. You can't sit anymore. Now you're standing. Now you're standing. And that's what I say right to him. That's what I say right to him. Now that you threw your chair, how you gonna sit? Now you're standing. Standing room only. Back up. Come on. Come on. That's the game. Yeah, that's gonna be going on for August. September is going to be wild because I think a lot of promotions were kind of taking a bit of a break during July and August. They take that summer hiatus and all those other things. So September is off to the races. I start September against George South. That's my first match in September. That's September 8th. So that's for We Are Wrestling. So
that's what's up.
I've been looking for George a long time. It's been a long time coming, and change is going to come. And that man, you want to talk about boots to a man?
Yes.
You want to talk about plasma oozing out of the cerebellum?
I'm ready.
George,
hey, y'all stupid people.
Students. I can't wait. He hasn't seen anything like me in 61 years. Of his 60 years of living, he's about to be a 61st. And that man was in the ring with my prime inspiration, Ric Flair.
Wow.
So I have to do it.
You
understand?
Do it.
I have to do it. I have, and you know what it is. I have to do it. And all of it, capital I, capital T. I will do it.
I love it. No, all father. All father. I love it. No, I love it. All father. On that note, All Father, let the people know where they can find you. We have to get to the rest of the show, but we appreciate you coming through
all day.
Big more after me.
No,
cut it off. Hit the switch.
How we're going to be able to follow this, I don't know.
Tell them, hey, you can go home. No, I'm kidding. You got to stay for the rest of it.
Yeah,
you got to stay for the rest of it. Everybody watching, stay tuned. Stay on it. I know that the shining star, you know that star that Mario has to get to be invincible. I know that is leaving. I know that the money is riding off. Don't leave. Don't leave, because there's so much more of Black Rasslin to listen to.
That's right.
So don't leave. Right. You see this talented panel? By the way, Cal, I wanted to thank you for that article personally, because thank you. It's bookmarked, it's favorited, and I make sure to post it, at least repost it. Probably gonna repost it again in the next few days.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, and all of you for your involvement. And Mimi, always thank you for the support. All of you.
Always.
You know, I'll still keep you out of my personal space. You get that respect there. Okay. Now,
absolutely.
where do you find the All-Father, the money train that's about to? That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the same at Mr. Darius Carter, Mr. Darius Carter. It's spelled right beneath me, so don't act like you don't know how to do it. Don't do 2 R's. Come on. Mr. Darius Carter.
That's right.
Easy. There it is. Repost it for them because they're struggling. There you go. Find me. Mr. Darius Kinsey Carter.
Yes,
what is Kinsey? It's Spanish for 15 because I'm the one. I'm the one.
That's right.
Come on, man.
Salute.
Come on now.
Thank you.
That's right.
Top 50 Black professional wrestlers in the world.
In the world.
Wait till PWI puts that out. In the world. Have them frustrated. By the way, I don't even submit for PWI. So, because I just want to see where I end up. So I don't even submit.
Right.
So ever since I made the PWI back in 2020, I was like, I'm all right. I just want to see where they place me. I don't want to submit. So any of the words they use, any of the accolades they bring up, that's them bringing it up.
Interesting.
So let's see. There's nothing wrong with submitting. All I'm saying is I like to see where the Lord places me. Where is the All-Father placed? He's on top of the world. So that being said, again, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Mr. Darius Carter, the money train.
Choo choo.
And it's making a lot of noise. It's coming through your town. It's entering your city, and it's making a lot of noise. It's keeping you up at night. You can't sleep. You can't sleep. I got to go to work in the morning, but that train.
Oh God.
Yeah, we all. I think we all got work in the border.
As long as I stay on here, it's gonna get worse. Yo.
We got to get you out of here. We got to get you out of here. Darius Carter, salute.
It's the greatest.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. Thank you.
Thank you, Darius. Oh my God, he's the best.
No, that was awesome.
He was amazing.
Salutes to Darius Carter, man. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, and you learn a lot.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to bring up meeting him at Wale Mania because it's similar to my Miz story. Like,
oh yes,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to talk about it?
No. I was just saying, you know what I mean. I did meet him. You know what I mean. I didn't want to, you know what I mean. He was cool. He was a cool guy, and I was like, God dang it. I wanted him to be like, get away from me, nigga. Like, you know
so he can't.
I also originally wanted Darius Carter to have an English accent. I'm just gonna be honest, because when I see him, I always saw Steven Regal.
Yeah.
No, exactly. He feels like
William Regal for you new niggas.
I was gonna say like 92 or whatever, 93 when he was really out there doing the damn thing. Guys, yeah, salute to him and salute to everybody who's in the chat.
Woo. A lot more realer. He's a lot more realer. We get a lot of heels on TV that play. We know that they're playing a heel,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But it's something about it that makes it like, man, this nigga really is an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
That's him.
It's something that's it's something
smooth though.
But you don't know. I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But it's more on it than what a normal person
on
TV is. Like I want to say, like Bobby Lashley got it. Not necessarily an asshole, but you believe Bobby Lashley.
Oh, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Big facts.
You believe motherfucking Mark Henry when he's like, I'm the strongest man. I'm about to put you in the Hall of Pain. And I believe Darius Carter. I believe what you know what I'm saying. Like, yo, I'm about to smack her whole face off, his whole face off. It don't matter who it is. They gonna get smacked.
Right.
I believe
equal opportunity smacking.
Equal opportunity ass whipping, and I'm all for it. I love
it. Before we get, it's been an hour. Do we?
That's how you know it's rocking.
Well, but the thing is like there's been too much content because I don't know how much like it's Thursday, so like how much of this can we really dig into?
Yo, like, I could do this all night long.
Yeah, everybody has been already hitting this one though. This is so we didn't heard this song.
We heard this song a lot. I do want to salute home. I don't know. Is that the guy they're looking for to do with the chair? That's the last time.
No, they're not looking for him. They hog-tied that nigga expeditiously.
Who they looking for?
No, wasn't they looking? No, I thought they were looking for him. They let him go. And then they asked him to come back to the station.
There's no way.
Is that him?
There's no way I'm coming back.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's too late. It's too late.
No, I'm gone.
I'm from
the way.
Right.
I'm out of here. Like, they hog-tied the nigga. They said, no. You done broke a worse crime. You can't smack a white lady with a chair, nigga.
They let him go, though. They let him go.
They hog-tied Buddy, though. Woo! Quickly. It's like a rodeo.
They was all sitting there. The white guys.
Times.
He wrapped that bitch around her neck. He was
around
her neck when he
was supposed to be laughing, but I did.
I sweat equity.
I was laughing.
But I did. I laughed all. I might have went to bed like 12 midnight.
That's one of those videos where you watch it and you watch it for serious the first time, and then on repeat viewings. Well, I mean, this stuff is funny, but repeat viewings, I'm just pointing out why my man swam across the pier and all this other shit.
I wasn't sure he was swimming to this. I'm watching like, oh shit, is he swimming to save himself, or is he swimming to start guffing? He got on land.
He a young boy too. He was a young boy, buddy, that was swimming. The nicknames for swimming, have been amazing.
Blockwoman was one of my favorites.
That's what that was.
Michael Evans Phelps.
There were all. There was a list when I woke up. There was a list.
Skatefish. Yes,
Michael B. Phelps.
That's my favorite right there. That's my favorite. Sea Murder is amazing.
Oh,
I cried.
Kofi Kingfish was a good one too.
He's actually my second favorite person in the video. The swimming nigga is the second favorite. My favorite is a nigga that skips to the fight. If you have seen a fight for real where it's ready to go crazy, it's always one nigga that skip. Like if you are moving toward a fight with glee, like nigga, you are doing it. Like he was like, yeah, I've been waiting for this. Apparently. I think he's a light-skinned nigga with dreads. I think he's from DC.
He's not happy.
What?
That nigga couldn't find no mambo sauce down there and just said, look, y'all ain't got no hair smokes on mother's mom. I'm ready to go.
That's crazy. crazy.
Oh my god!
My man threw up his hat. He threw his hat.
The Smurda hat.
But niggas just sworn like it was. I don't know. I'm not saying try that the next time you're in a situation because I can't guarantee that.
But no, if you look, he threw the hat and got to it. So he threw the hat and he said he was with these. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just help. That wasn't a goddamn call for help. That was I quit because I'm not taking this from these crackers. That's exactly what that was.
I ain't gonna have this job no more. Let's go. No more. Oh, brother. Skipping to a fight is choosing violence. I'm fine with it, though. I'm A-okay with it.
Skipping Yo was my guy. Skipping Yo was legit.
Skipping.
Oh, shit.
All right. I think we have to get into this show. There's not a lot, but we got shit to do. So dude that pose next to the barricade was Jesus Christ. That's facts. God damn. Let's go.
Greetings, wrestling fans, and welcome to another action-packed part of All-Star Wrestling.
See, they in the chat saying the hat was the bat signal. If you need somebody in the fight, fam got you. He got to share on that. Welcome back to BRP. If you've been tuned in for an hour and 6 plus or some odd minutes, you should already know. Not only is God still working on us, but Darius Carter ain't afraid to slap anybody. As always, it's your boy Cal, your current reigning, defended, 6-time BRP disputed predictions champion. Don't get mad at me. I wasn't supposed to win on Saturday night. You got to blame one of them.
I'm just disgusted.
You got to blame this one. That was the one that was the closest. As you can see, the squad is on the line. Mimi, say what's up to the people, yeah?
What's good, everybody?
She ain't got no crabs.
Sad. She ain't got no crabs. It's funny. That's funny.
You see
I don't
me
have
throw a
my
punch though, Cord.
Show it to me.
paw father.
Hey man, Ill Fam 79 on your social media choice. The American Express. Don't leave home without it.
There you go.
That little home run heater.
Cal,
What's popping?
it's only a couple members out some cliques that's loyal. So I know how it feels to see them switch on you. Talk down on you. When that don't go well, that's when they double back to ride your coattail. At Math Damon.
Jesus, he said that.
Damon.
I don't think She Ain't Got Crabs is the name.
She ain't got crabs. Damon.
Can that be the name of the episode? I don't think so.
She ain't got crabs over there.
You don't know what I got.
No.
We would know if you had crabs. You
I would be
to
like,
eat. I don't
look,
know.
y'all. Oh.
Yeah. I'm out of here.
I said I got something coming through.
No.
I might be posting a little something tomorrow.
You made an order?
Man.
She made an order.
People's families come down. I'll be like, can I send you some money?
Bring me some.
I need a redo.
You need a re-up on some crab?
Yeah.
Redo.
On some crabs. Your
some
motherfucking hands gonna look like ketchup.
Swolled all the way up. Swolled all the
You
way.
said
up.
Catcher's Mitt.
They said, "Get
Catcher's
me outta
mitt out
here."
there, bitch.
Ridiculous.
You don't get that shit out of here.
It's the best, bro.
All right, we can't do a whole SummerSlam recap. We just can't. So I want to. There's a couple of points that we need to hit. A couple of questions I want to ask. First up is probably the obvious one. Where does this story go from here? After Jimmy Uso is the one to cause his brother Jay to not become champion and head of the bloodline. The Usos broke up?
I don't think they broke up. You think they broke up?
Yes, Mimi.
I think they're mad at each other.
You think?
I also think the Nile is more than a river.
Done. It go back to when Tyrese was on the bus singing. Them niggas got the beefing when Paul Heyman didn't start it, but he
instigated it.
He threw the gas on the fire.
We'll talk because you mentioned that. You mentioned it that night, right, on SummerSlam night, and the next day. Talk about where you getting that from?
I'm gonna say the when you saw that interaction prior to Jay kicking Roman, when he was like, "Nigga, I'm trying to follow behind you." That's him getting his piece out, right? But Jimmy ain't ever get his piece out,
right?
So week after week after they put him out, you heard Paul Heyman talking about, nigga, that was supposed to be the nigga that went against the bloodline.
Right.
You only here because you got his ass whipped. You see what I'm saying?
I feel you.
It's him planting them seeds, yada yada yada. Yeah, Jimmy only hurt because of you, nigga. That kind of shit. So
and so now it's just been up in his ear.
And when you look at the other photos, it's Paul Heyman in the back of them.
That's facts. I've seen, or even I was the tag match they had before this one.
It's Paul Heyman
right in the background.
So I'm just saying that Paul Heyman is the person responsible for this part.
For this.
Yeah. There you go. Look at him.
He's right there, looking right over at him, holding delay and everything. But that's it. Like this the last time we're gonna see the Usos together. Like what's the
tired of brown niggas and hoodies though? They gotta have another way. Like come from up under the ring or something. Do something a little different.
You look like a hood ninja, low key. Like if he's
like, I'm getting my hoodie. I'm getting my bandana.
It's like Ghost in Power. When it's time to get to work, he got that one track. I'm sorry.
We always make that face, when he go from like Jamie St. Patrick to Ghost. What do you mean? I'm like, hold on, nigga. You was just the same nigga in the suit a second ago.
I'm not sure if this Jimmy and Jay can last till WrestleMania. What's that?
No.
5 months?
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's 5 months.
Yeah.
August,
Rumble maybe, but not
December, January, February. Yeah, it's like 5-6 months.
Yeah,
Rumble 4 corners. They gotta do that 4 corners somewhere in between, and then it's got to be a 3-way because we gotta wait. We're gonna have to wait for Solo because Solo ain't stepped out all the way. He gave us hints that he had a problem with Roman, so they have to dissolve that first too.
There's a lot,
and then we can get to a point. Right, so you're gonna have the explanation. The thing that struck me out of all this, the biggest is in the press conference. Paul Heyman said we're in the bottom of the third.
The bottom of the third, yeah.
Nigga, what?
And I said, "Is this still 9 innings?
Is it still 9 innings? Is crazy.
Yeah,
is this the bottom of the third quarter.
This it's gonna be like this for how long does this happen? That's the other question.
It can't.
If this is the bottom of the third, look at her. If this is the bottom of the third, how much? It's been 3 years.
I ain't got enough. Yeah.
Literally, didn't he win the title at the SummerSlam in 2020? Was that the pay-per-view?
2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Literally 3 years of this. That sounds like another 6.
Do they need another detour feud here? Do they need to be able to stretch this? Do they need like I don't know. I mean, AJ Styles just came back. Like, I don't know. Like, is that what they need? Do they need niggas to come in and have side missions?
Yes.
And then come back on, you know what I'm saying?
Roman definitely needs a side mission.
We're also assuming that he has the title that long. Because he may not.
I would like to be the side mission.
Here she goes.
Here
she goes.
No.
Here she goes.
Yeah.
Well, but I will say, I think
blur everything up there.
I think we may already have the side mission. No, I mean, I feel like this is the side mission right here.
Look at these.
If you want to talk about like the conversation of who hasn't had that match with Roman in this era, there's only a couple of names that are on there, and Bobby's is one of them.
Yes,
we saw him on. What you about to say, fam?
The only problem with that conversation is they going two different ways. The Bobby them clicking up. These niggas is dissolving like a goddamn Alka-Seltzer tablet.
Right.
Unless that's the way to bring them back together.
I think that's something tells me that
the niggas banked them. Let's get it.
I think after they fighting it out. I don't know how tribal combat works. I don't know how it works at when you're at that table. But they all fight it out, and then at some point, I think Paul Heyman's going to have to orchestrate getting them all back together, because these niggas is out here. Bobby is sicking Street Profits on people. He just said, "Go get them." And then after they was done, he said, "Big smiles, put on some big smiles," and they just sitting there.
I like it.
I love it. I love it. It looked the when they were in the ring,
Dawkins looked like he about to tell Apollo to show your love. Show your love.
When they were in the ring, they looked good beating everybody up in the ring. That the two of them, there was a certain hunger. I don't know if it's because they heels or what, but
I think it's just because they were dressed nice.
Because they was suited and booted.
Yeah, I think that was it. They were dressed differently.
So they felt it was a different aggression, you saying?
Yeah, it just looked different.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same Street Profits, because they weren't more aggressive. It was the same Street Profits beatdown, but they looked the part.
It hit different, yeah. It hit different.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing, but yeah.
They also had a purpose, and they weren't just out here showing off their athleticism.
That's a great point.
Very important.
Well, all right. Chris Brown said it's weird. The Street Profits on a clear heel turn, but Bobby got a big baby face reaction. I think part of that is because when the last time we really got to see, especially in an arena, it was WrestleMania time was when around the time he was actually wrestling. So and he was a baby face at that point. When he came out at WrestleMania, that was all Andre the Giant.
He's always been a baby face.
But I think something tells me that it's part of the act, part of the whatever this is going to be. I don't want to call it Hurt Business 2.0, whatever it's going to be. But I think part of that is going to be the fact that they are trying to present a certain, similar to what Darius Carter was saying earlier. There's a certain presentation that they're going for, and part of it is like the smile, strong smile, shake your hand, businessman type thing. That's what it feels like anyway. But
I can get with that. But they not heels.
Like he about to give you a watch. You don't think they're heels now? You don't think they can be heels?
Are you prepared for Jehovah's return?
I didn't think that Bobby Lashley was ever a heel.
Yeah. You didn't.
I didn't.
You didn't. That's
right. He was doing all the good shit. He was doing all the great shit.
I was cheering for him.
We all were.
He was in their eyes.
Who's they?
the people that's going to be going into a deal with Endeavor very soon. They said, huh?
And they are who? Whom?
Vince McMahon and them.
The real evil. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke.
That's a joke. That is a joke. Feds is watching. That's a joke. He was pointing at his cheeks.
That's a joke. I'm trying to figure out how the Feds was in here talking during an interview when the Fed had all the titties out 2 weeks prior.
So, how much longer is this then? If
like Kofi was saying, and this is part. I think that this is going to get ran back because of it. Kofi was saying they violated the tribal combat rules. So I'm assuming Jay's going to get a rematch because of the interference, all of the interference. I'm assuming he's going to get a rematch. So there goes your payback.
You think payback's going to be Roman Jay again?
It's called payback. I'm assuming that because they didn't fight under tribal combat rules.
But I was assuming that it was going to be this. Payback for that.
That would be too soon.
What's the rules to tribal combat? Do you got to beat Goro at the end?
It's no.
Yeah, you got to dip your hands in the tape your hands and dip.
That's a whole nother fella. Yeah, you know what Tom Poe told him.
I don't
he
think
said some disrespectful stuff. She moaned like a whore. Oh my God, Tom Poe, why are you talking like this?
Corey, we talking about if you look back in the chat, we're talking about the Usos having to wrestle each other at Mania, but you're talking payback, Jimmy versus Jay at payback. Yeah, that makes sense in the story that it's called payback. This nigga just helped him lose the match, but it doesn't make any sense to sell this at payback unless it's the main event. It don't make sense to me. I could be wrong, and it's possible it is the main event. Is Roman Reigns supposed to be wrestling there?
I don't know. What if it's a triple threat?
Yeah, Roman Reigns probably ain't supposed to be wrestling in no payback.
I'm assuming not, but I would assume that would mean his next match would be at Survivor Series because it's payback, and then or at the Saudi show. It's payback in September. There's Saudi show in November. Payback in September, Fastlane in October, and then November 4th is a Saudi Arabia show, and then Survivor Series later.
Is that India show in there too?
They are supposed. Let me check. They are supposed to be going to India, huh? India.
That's not.
Really?
I always start seeing Shanky and goddamn gender.
Yeah, back in May. They said
they don't pull out old Canadian Rodney. That nigga just Rodney in Canada. Gender everywhere else.
WWE Superstar Spectacle is Friday, September 8th. I don't know. Do you even have Roman on this
house show?
Well, yeah, it may be one of those on the network, but not necessarily a whole but who knows? This is what's on the. I mean, this is who they have. I'm going to it. Jinder may be the main event on that show.
Look at that whole left side. That whole left side.
That's what it is.
That's the niggas on the card right there.
Yeah, this is it.
They had the Google Bowl.
You got to take Kevin Owens out of there though.
And Sammy, right? Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy was talking about niggas today, boy.
Yo. That clip is nuts. How old was I?
What happened?
Sammy Zayn was out here. Sammy, a whole black man. Y'all ain't know he was talking about crackers and everything.
I don't know how old this clip was. The Sami Zayn cutting a promo out in somebody's backyard. He did he say the N? I don't think he said the N word, but
I didn't say the N word.
He definitely sounded. He said I'm the black man. He said he said something about crack ass crackers or some shit. He
Yo,
was talking.
That's what he said. That was the funny part. That's
crack
what
ass crackers is what he said.
I
didn't know what was going on.
That's one of the ones where you hit a nigga up. Say it again one more time.
Yeah, can you
one more time? Say it again. Let me hear you.
Who you hanging out with?
Who you angry at? Crack ass crackers. That nigga was mad.
This is for Antoine said, "Play."
They don't even know what's up here. They don't even know what it is.
That was saying, play that Sami Zayn.
They don't even know what's up here.
I'm sorry. No, I don't even know. I don't have the clip. There's a lot.
The problem is it wasn't clean. The way where it was, I had to snatch it off there, and it was some foolishness all around there.
You could probably find. He had some like powder blue swish pants or something on. It was weird. It was I've never seen Sami Zayn or whatever his name was at that time like that ever again, ever in life.
El Janigico.
I can't.
Shouts out to Kofi. We mentioned Kofi Kingston.
Hey, now that's the news. That's the news.
I was genuinely happy to see. I'm jumping around everywhere. I don't care. There's only so much show we're gonna have this week. I was genuinely happy to see the way the crowd reacted. Not when they won, but when that music hit and they knew they was about to get a New Day match. I loved it. I'm a fan.
It's because we got that bad news this weekend.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? They, the folks said that they done told E not to wrestle no more. So it looked like he done. You know what I'm saying? It could be not, you know what I mean? We saw Daniel Bryan come back, so who knows? But
right
at this point, the word is them people said, nah, go ahead and go to ESPN and go to, you know what I'm saying? Do those other opportunities that you have. Go ahead and rock with those, because baby, you get back in that ring, we don't know what can happen.
Right.
I mean, he's talked. It's not like that he's not talked about this. He's mentioned numerous times that he feels good, but he's also content with the career that he's had in WWE. And as happy as I am that we're able to get the American Dragon do, although he's broke his damn arm recently, we've been able to get him performing at a very high level in some very dope matches. I always prioritize the health and well-being of somebody, especially in one of those situations. Because I still haven't watched what happened to Biggie. I can't. It's something about that clip. I just can't sit there and tune in. But we got some moments with that, man. And if he's able to still work, I mean, Our Heroes Rock still has to come out. There's a lot of things that the up, down stuff that he's been on. He's been phenomenal on that competition series or whatever that they had. Every time I would tune in, he was just damn star of the show. Him and Liv, shouts to Liv. But no, it sucks. But I would rather be upset that he can't continue to wrestle, but see him do stuff than him try and do something for whoever, right? Because we want to see him in the ring again. We don't need that at all. Well, Kofi said he gave us everything and owes us nothing. That's what it is. That's all it is, really. He owes us nothing. But God damn it, at some point I need to see the Usos be a team again. Stop fighting, because I would love to see another run of this one.
I don't know, son. How can they go back?
Right.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, true. I mean, the Dudley Boys are wrestling this weekend, I think.
The Dudley Boys are wrestling this weekend, exactly. I don't have a graphic for that. I did see that. It's like is that the 1000th episode of Impact or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I really don't. I remember the Dudleys, but maybe I just wasn't watching at the right time to care about the Dudleys anymore.
Oh man, I still think Dudleys are the GOAT tag team.
Very decorated.
Yeah, they won it. They did it everywhere, and they did it all kinds of ways.
I just don't need to see it now. I'll be good on it. But I think
I don't know if we're getting a match from them niggas. I think we haven't seen them niggas together. Maybe because I think Devon is done. He retired from in ring, period. But I mean, a wrestler's retirement is, you know what I'm saying?
It's like a Jay-Z retirement.
Man,
I'll be back in a couple years. I'm with Rock. Rock said about the Usos brothers and the brothers fight. They'll be back together eventually. I don't know how long it takes. I wonder what the circumstances could be, but I feel like we're a trial of Jimmy Uso away from some major battle, and then them just being like, "All right, you done with the Us?"
Well, see, let me more so what I was saying, not necessarily them not me. I'm not talking story. Like, are these niggas now a little too big for their britches? Because I feel like we're gonna see a lot of solo, not solo score, but a lot of like solo matches for these niggas, like all of them. And I think they're gonna get it. It looks like they're gonna get at a shot. So
what you think? Are
too big for
I don't think so. I think I don't know if they're too big for their britches. I don't know if Jey Uso can sustain solo, and I am a Jey Uso fan, but I feel like they're better together, and I think this is just for the story, and it's not going to last too long. I would like them to have a WrestleMania moment. I don't know if it'll. I don't know
if they keep them separate all the way to Mania.
Do I have a Jey Uso impression? I don't know. I was watching the Jey Uso SummerSlam vlog earlier,
right.
and he's a character for real.
He's so real. It's like talking to y'all in the Glide. He could be talking about something and then flipped and be super funny,
right? Or
make a comment, and I think that's why they don't believe that he could be the tribal chief. Like, he's just too.
They don't think
he's on
enough?
Joke time. I don't think they think he's serious enough, and I think that's why Jimmy did it. Jimmy's like, first of all, I don't think that you have what it takes, and if you do, I don't want you to go to the dark side. So I feel like the betrayal was more. It wasn't really a betrayal. It was more of a, I'm saving you from yourself.
That's a wake up call. You saying?
Yeah, you think that you're going to be the same person, but you're not. You saw what happened with our cousin, and I don't want that for you.
This not a math. Is this a main eventer? We about to see more solo Jey Uso.
First of all, if you are my brother, you better kick me behind the scenes. Don't you kick me in front of all these motherfucking people.
Right.
Don't kick me live on Peacock.
We not going back. We not going back to France, nigga. I don't give a fuck how you thought the tribal chief should be. Don't you kick me in front of these motherfucking people.
Right.
Did you kick me live in Detroit? I hear that.
United Front.
I think that Jey Uso has came a long fucking way.
Facts.
It came a long way. And to see that, like, legit, when I saw him coming to the ring, I'm like, oh shit, that's real. Because he got the white on, he got the white leg. I'm like, oh, this is real. This is dope. And then to see him, like, yeah, he getting the crowd hype and all that shit. But to see the reaction to Jey Uso coming out, which you couldn't have told me this shit 5 years ago, that this is what Jey Uso would be doing. So he looks right. It feels right. I don't know if he's the world undisputed, disputed heavyweight universal champion.
He can take my title.
But all right, Mimi, get him out of there.
Nah, but I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
But he's there. I don't know if that's where he wants to be, because he still has, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if their plans are to be separated for a long period of time. So, but it looks right.
It looks right now for main event Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso to kind of be out. If they're solo, I mean, assuming that one or both of them goes and wrestles Roman Reigns again before Survivor Series, whatever the case may be. If they are not the Usos again until after Mania, are they staying in that world title realm? Are they at the US title area?
I don't
Like, do you have Jimmy Uso going for the IC title and getting drafted to Raw and going for an IC title or something like that?
I just like the story. For me, I don't care about them going. I mean, if they dip in and out of it, great. I don't think it matters because I feel like it's more about the story than the title.
Yeah, I
at
think
this point, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, Mimi, but I think that it's less about a title picture when it comes to them now. You know what I'm saying? Because with like, I don't know if it's gonna have the same feel when you start to move the pieces around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Away from this large thing. If that makes sense, what I'm saying. Because he looks great coming down to the ring, but he looks great coming down to the ring against the tribal chief. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going to look great coming down to the ring against Solo, and look great coming down to he wrestles Solo, but look great coming down to the ring against his brother. I'm not sure what it's going to look like against Austin Theory. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that thing.
That may not be a thing, huh?
I don't know.
It feels like it makes sense for them to go solo, but it doesn't sound like we actually see them going solo. Because after the Bloodline story, if they're not going for titles or anything, then what are we doing with them? I would assume put them back in the tag team then.
Can you replace in this statement that Corey said? Can you replace the title with Roman Reigns? And what I mean is, Roman Reigns can go off and fight niggas, and these niggas can fight this out for months.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it can be in any kind of weird ways where they inject Solo and they have all kind of weird stipulations and all this until it come down to one nigga did something dirty. Like, cause maybe now Jimmy got Heyman for sure. So now Heyman does something dastardly in the rematch to where we have to actually get to it and maybe put that in the Hell in a Cell or something, because the Usos against each other in the Hell in a Cell could be crazy.
Damn. Chris Brown said, you see him with Sammy. He looked like a huge deal at Elimination Chamber and Mania. Now that he's out of Bloodline orbit, he's just another guy who gets a decent reaction. Damn. But how do they see it?
I think that's overstating.
Well, I was gonna say, because on Raw, the main event, Sami Zayn, I feel like he got an injury, but he was up in the mix with Cody and Beth, which to me looks like he would be in the upper echelon, especially going against Judge. I hear what you're saying, though. I think Sammy's definitely not as hot as he was.
He's still just saying. I kind of agree with Chris Brown, because he's still just a guy now. You placed him around. You put him in between Seth and Cody. You know what I'm saying? You could have put motherfucking Chad Gable in between them two, and it would have got a reaction.
Shorty G?
Take those two, when you take those two away, if you take Seth and you take Cody away, it's not going to be the same reaction. He's going to get that. He's going to get a pop, but it's not going to be.
I think Sammy gets a bigger pop, though, I would say, than Shorty G.
No, of course, but what I'm saying is he's not.
He's not on the other level.
No, I don't think so.
This hierarchy is kind of the Uso situation is very interesting, and I like what Corey says here. That's exactly what's about to happen. Roman's about to be separated from the bloodline story for a hot second.
Yes, that's smart because that gives you the longevity in it.
Mhm.
Is the story is the brothers now.
What if it's a situation? Because I really feel like this is going to get sewn up real quick. My thought is Lashley's the guy. Lashley's about to start making.
That's what you think?
Those Lashley's returning. He's on TV. He's been on TV the last month, roughly.
Is he have matches?
Not yet. I think
we feel like MVP.
He's building the block.
I will say, not this shot. This shot felt very MVP-ish when I was watching it back on YouTube. He was pointing at he's very much looked like endorsing somebody, but I think my thought is that this is all part of the plan. He's trying to assemble a squad because he knows that he's going up against Roman, and Roman at the very least got Solo. I think we're going to be seeing situations where Bobby and the Prophet's going to be they're going to start beating the shit out of people, and then maybe something where they start attacking Roman. At some point, I think it may be overwhelming, and I think Paul Heyman or somebody's going to have to go back and talk to these two and say, "Hey, quit fucking fighting. We got to get this money."
It's a war.
Y'all ever seen two brothers fight?
Yeah.
I watched the Briscoes fight on their farm recently.
Yeah,
it ain't nobody else's. Like,
not facts.
It ain't no Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Rikishi or they mother. Look, niggas they not stopping them from getting it shaken. They gonna get it shaken. Like, it's gonna happen.
But,
but that part, it has to get to that point. The problem, I'm not problem, but I guess the question is, how long?
That's my question, right? Yeah.
How long are they gonna get it rocking?
Because I
think we're very, very far time wise from
April.
From the goddamn Usos having a match together. We're a very, very far ways away from that.
How far?
A year.
A year?
9
months.
I don't know.
Large.
There's there's enough juice for Jimmy versus Jay past Mania as a one-on-one solo story?
Nah, but it's enough. It's yes, but it's not enough to see it. You know how niggas, Cody and Seth, excuse me, are still rivals.
Right.
We haven't seen it.
We're waiting for that. Yeah.
We haven't seen them wrestle in a long time, but they still hate each other. You know what I'm saying? So right. you can still have Solo wrestle with Jimmy for however long. That's his brother. You know what I'm saying? So eventually,
imagine himself calling them the new Usos.
The new souls.
That would be crazy.
It'd be like
super heel.
It'll be like Harlem Heat 2000, but like much better.
With Zeus and Stevie Ray.
But much better. Zeus and Stevie Ray would have been ill.
Now Bobby Lashley's last match was in June 25th.
He been wrestling house shows, right?
Yeah. That was his last one.
Yeah, he was doing house shows for it.
Who was he? When he was after he won that battle royal that they gave him because everything conked out with Bray, who is allegedly on the way back, which I don't know what they right there.
We'll see.
What was the last time he was in something with somebody? He was beneath
wrestling
him after Mania.
Because remember before last year, him and Gunther were holding on to the mid-card titles. Gunther still has the IC title. Bobby Lashley had that US title for a bit, and it was him and Austin Theory going back and forth. Yeah, that was his main feud.
I felt like that was a waste.
That was a waste.
That was Vince or whoever trying to.
That was a waste.
Build your mans up. Somebody mans up. Somebody.
And that shit stalled. But hopefully he might get something back. I doubt it, but
What have they done with him since?
nothing.
Bobby, nothing. He's
No, I'm talking about Theory.
I feel like
I forgot the nigga had the belt.
Yeah, he's
right?
still champion. I don't know what.
That's exactly what he feels like. He's like, well, we tried it.
Right. He's on the show.
And like the niggas be at catering, like, no, who gonna take it off for him though?
But remember, I don't care. The story was that Theory was the Vince project. He was the one out there with that guy, and then Vince took a break. And during that break, Austin Theory was getting beat with that briefcase by Brock Lesnar and all that stuff that was going on, and he kind of went down a level, but he's ended up winning that title and is still around. So yeah, it's definitely been a bust, but I think part of it's because Triple H. It doesn't seem like Triple H had Theory in the plans as much as Vince did. In my opinion,
I believe J-Bo, but I don't remember it. I believe you, J-Bo.
Reed.
Actually, Bronson Reed. I mean, because they keep showing us that they like him for a few months now.
Yeah, but I kind of felt like this week was weird. You don't think this week felt weird?
Talk about it.
Last week was weird. This week was weird.
It was
what
weird.
What happened this week? Remind me, because it's a lot of.
He went over on Shinsuke, which I'm not mad at.
Yeah, because you can't on Shinsuke.
Right.
I love him, but it felt like they're not. He's not a priority where it felt like, not that he was a priority, but there was no focus, and he just felt like a regular degular, where before he felt important, like, oh, okay, like you said, they liked him, but this week and last week it felt like, okay, that didn't work, or we're bored.
It was he interfered in the match, right? Last week.
Yeah.
He interfered with Shinsuke and Ciampa.
Well, I mean, they're putting them. They might be developing the scene for that U.S. title, maybe.
I think so.
Because anytime that they're working on a streak, that title's held for hostage. So
yes.
That I see, don't worry about it, because Walter got that for a minute.
Thanks.
So now you got to put this scene together. These are guys that are or a lot of guys that are coming back. And they're trying to give Shorty G some burn too. So I think the thing is the booking is they parsing, like they giving out a little bit to these niggas. And I think that's probably why is there was a concentrated effort. Now they have a whole division of niggas to push up. So that's probably why it feels like they pulling back on Action Bronson Reed.
He's supposed to be a guy though. Like at some point, he's supposed to be a 3-month Seth Rollins program for the world title type guy.
Who?
Bronson Reed. I'm trying to figure out what the point of people like that. Not like those characters. Because WWE gets guys like that and they push guys like that, and then at a certain point they just stall.
How tall is he?
Action Bronson?
Yeah, I want him to be tall. Because he wrestles like a big guy, but he's
like 6 foot
10.
6 foot 330.
If he's built, he's short. Then that's gonna be a problem for him.
Yeah, that's why he's
because you can't be a giant. Is he gonna end up? Wrestling with Otis, and then they can forget.
Omos taller than him. If Omos make him look like a little child, I'm just saying though. At a certain point, I feel like we've had these types of conversations where you're talking about who's like the giant on the roster, and if like Omos is the giant, it's tough for Bronson Reed to look like a giant because if he got in the ring with a guy they actually feel is a giant, he gonna look like a little boy.
It's that Taz shit.
Yeah, exactly. The beast in the room.
All right, Rock.
Yeah, get him out of there. Rock, thick boy is crazy.
And you put the second C on there.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Y'all run that back. Y'all get a kick out of it.
That's why I need to be watching on the YouTube.
Nah, get Joe Dixon out of it. That's that New Jersey shit.
That's that Big E shit. Big E said that big meaty man
about
slapping
meat.
He's from Jersey too.
Big E is definitely.
If he said that, he's from Jersey.
He's a Florida man. He's definitely Florida man.
I don't like it.
And
You what? Hey, get Twan out of here, bro.
Yeah, this is too much going on at this point. Would y'all if y'all had somebody like somewhere y'all had to go for people? That's crazy. Would y'all pull a Dakota Kai and just Spirit's the option? I'm gonna fly Spirit to the SummerSlams.
If it's my man's, I probably do. I'd do something dope for my man's. Yeah, 100%.
What's up, Big Mike?
EO winning the title is probably that's worth a Spirit flight.
No, it's not.
a Spirit flight, Cal.
That's what she said she did.
Right.
Is that what? Is this a
Social
thing?
media.
Wait, Mimi, you didn't hear about this?
I've been, I be coming in there like, what happened?
I drive.
Dakota Kai.
Uh-huh.
Apparently she only has so much time to get there,
Okay.
like hours,
Okay.
and
She ain't know SummerSlam was that day.
I think that she didn't know EO was
Winning.
I think because she was injured, there's only so much that she really knows, especially when it comes to like, I mean, she ain't been on TV. It's been EO and Bailey for months.
Squad.
I think probably when they was figuring out figuring out like, all right, who's winning here, and they were like, well, we had to return last year at SummerSlam.
Right.
Yo, they had
They
all
go-
three of them. Yo, you think we could get her to come? Call her. Oh, and the only thing they had was that Spirit.
Here we go. On Twitch, this is what she said on Twitch recently. She said she found out that they wanted her there at 1 p.m. on SummerSlams.
What?
She got there during the event.
She said she was still chilling. She got there during
8.
Gunther Drew, I believe, is what time she got there.
SummerSlam was 8, right?
SummerSlam was 8, and I believe she's in Florida.
So that's a 4 or 5 hour flight.
But
What?
across time zones because they were flying to Detroit.
Right. So it was back an hour.
So
It's back an hour. Yeah, Bailey was texting her, trying to call her. Do you guys know what day it is, what time it is, where I am? She ain't had no. She said the math wasn't mathing. Then she was trying to figure out the flights.
Mhm.
This was around 5:15, and she said
That's
she couldn't make
crazy.
it. But she said this shows how desperate I was to get there because it was Spirit. I'd never flown Spirit before. She said, please don't let anything happen. This flight was set for 6 p.m. So she called a 6 p.m. Spirit flight from Orlando to get the SummerSlams to be out there to help salute her girl when she.
It's 2.5 hours, Chris Brown.
oh, okay, yeah.
It's
So
not.
then 4 hours in advance because you figured 2 hours max at in
But that's kinda
going through
close.
security.
That's
Oh,
what
it's kind of super close.
Yeah, I mean, it 2.5 hour flight is fine. That's why she did it. But it sucks to learn that at 1 o'clock, and you got to be there
Right,
at whatever
right.
time.
Right.
Hey, Sean, get the hell out of here.
And you was just chilling, like your whole. It's crazy. You.
Yo, get the fuck out of here.
AO said a 6 p.m. Spirit flight. I wonder who else was on the flight
Nobody, nigga.
going to Detroit.
Yeah,
That's
like
an odd-
who's leaving Florida to go
To Detroit.
Hey, black people,
meet them?
And Dakota
I'm not
Kai.
hanging out. Listen, I'm not hanging out in Florida. That ain't for us.
It's meet them.
You got. They in certain areas though.
Mhm.
It's because I'm saying once you get to them other areas of Florida, you don't want to be in Florida. You
Nope.
better not be in Florida.
Nope.
My
That's
sister
the
live in Florida.
That's the side.
That's it. You know what? I can't even. Florida is the South, but Florida is Florida. Florida is this.
Well, Florida's also
Florida,
different.
Florida can't be the
Mhm.
South.
No, Florida's definitely this. Yeah, you got to watch some of them like them. MTV had the one reality show where it was like straight up college Florida kids, and that they are Southern as fuck.
They had gold teeth.
I think the one kid may have. There was a black kid from Atlanta, and them kids was more Southern than him.
All them niggas had 3 letters before their actual name.
There was some low.
What that mean?
Bobby Sue's and
MPH Darwin, motherfucker. LMO Jacquees.
it was only 2 black people in the show. It was mostly Southern white people, is what I'm saying.
Florida
Bama Shore. That's right, Florida Bama Shore. Because Florida and Alabama is they right there. So they was
about that.
It's the South.
That's MTV. I don't watch that shit.
That was the one trash show I was watching for a couple seasons. It was terrible.
What exactly is bad about Spirit? Like, what makes Spirit unflyable?
You can't. It's a few things. One would be if you're a luggage person. That's one. You can't bring bags on there. That would be one. Two, if you're a taller individual, your seats are too close. Three, the seats are more narrow.
That was not a fun flight at all.
4, did I already say you can't move your seat? Like it's not going anywhere because it's too many. It's no room.
Yeah,
a lot of social media answers in the chat.
They upcharge for everything too, though, right? Like that's the whole. It's supposed to be. It's cheap, but then it's cheap because they're going to charge you for everything. And
there's no frills. It's supposed to be a flight where
it's a soul plane. Yes,
I
would get on soul plane before I get on Spirit.
You as a person.
That's crazy. That's get on the stuff, man. Hey, look, it's the goddamn seat for a couple hours.
No, it's not. It's really not. It's really not. If you're talking about flying, which is I
flew Spirit from Texas, not to Texas, but from Texas. I was fine.
Bless your heart,
Antoine. That's facts. Fly Frontier if you're gonna fly Spirit. Frontier is the only one and close to here though. So they always put you on Frontier from Florida. The connection from Florida to an island. Yes.
Like it'd be the plane with the propellers on the front, and you down in the
yeah.
Yo, real rap though. Smoothest flight. The propeller joint, smoothest flight, because I was petrified when I seen it. I said, "Why they got us on the goddamn what's the Baloo in them? They got us on the goddamn Baloo flight. Baloo was flying this airplane with the sidekick kid. I'm like, we are going down, and because I don't like flying, but
my fucking tailspin.
That's it. Life is like an aeroplane.
Yes, right. That was what I meant when I said I would fly Soul Plane, because Soul Plane wasn't a bad flight.
Yeah.
Didn't the nigga die? The pilot died,
the
right?
nigga die.
Yeah, but he didn't. He got too high, right?
It was high.
I mean,
that's right. He was so high, he was knocked out.
Wait, high on what?
It was supposed to be Reefer killed. Like they really. How did Kevin Hart make it back from that?
He landed the plane.
I'm talking about the movie
career.
You know,
why did he make it?
You know why? Both of them. It's that scene. That scene right there. It opened because it was white people that saw that they flocked to him off of that. He was getting all the cameos after that. Both of them.
But no, if that's your last resort to get to a goddamn show for your homegirl or whatever, that's your homegirl. You know what I mean? I don't have too much pride to fly Spirit for my home.
No. Right, I have entertained the Spirit flight trying to get to Mississippi. I have, however, they will try to upcharge. They'll promote one thing on the website, and by the time you get to checkout, it's something ridiculous.
It's $600.
I'd rather take my ass over to Delta and pay the $8.
Damn.
I'm gonna go straight to United and get and be comfortable.
Right.
I did Spirit one. I had to. They said that you're gonna fly somewhere.
You made it, right?
I made there and back, and hey,
I flew 5 hours on
and
Spirit.
that's okay.
My shit was in pain.
Well, I will say, I mean, because Dakota's still recovering from injury. I can't imagine what that flight was like with whatever. If she had, it was an ACL or something. I forget what the specific injury was.
But Dakota is a little girl. She's not no big. You know what I mean?
It's not me sitting.
Yeah. That room issue. She's not gonna be cramped up. She's a small lady. So I don't think that was a problem. It was 2.5 hours to get there.
Does Spirit have first class?
No. They have
I definitely don't.
They have a larger first row.
Maybe she got one. Maybe she was able to get one of those seats.
The first row are the bigger seats, but they don't recline either.
They don't recline.
Damn.
No, shouts to her for that. Also, I do want to shout out because I mentioned it earlier. The one thing that was killing me SummerSlam night was trying to remember that Ricky Starks had a match on at the same time.
I wasn't missing that. He was on at the same time as Ronda Rousey.
They was wrestling for each other.
They made that nice and quick too. I thought they was gonna go on forever. Thank God they got up out of that. I was afraid. They was like, we gotta blow this story off. It's our last match. So it's gonna be somebody knew better. Somebody knew better.
Okay, all right, yeah, end the match. Yeah, but so sadly, CM Punk retained the X title. And Ricky Starks got upset. He said, and started whooping Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Why not?
What you mean? What?
Yeah, why not?
What Ricky did it? What Ricky do?
Because Ricky had his nose in the goddamn match when he shouldn't have.
Talk about it.
Oh my god! So what happened in the match? Tell me what happened.
So prior to the finish, Starks had a pin. Okay. He had a pinning predicament, and he had his legs on the ropes.
Okay.
Ricky threw his legs up. He threw his legs up in there. He ain't like Rick said, "Put that, you're a man." Now,
like Brock.
Put your legs down.
Ricky the Dragon knocked his feet off the ropes.
Okay.
So
get your legs out the rope.
Get back into it.
Uh-huh.
Ricky has a pin, if I'm not mistaken. Ricky has a pin, or the ref got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky has a pin, and nobody's there to count, if I'm not mistaken. And then he counts. Ricky the Dragon ends up counting CM Punk's win.
Mm-hmm.
We're counting the pin for CM Punk to win.
Mm-hmm.
So when Starks comes to, when he's on the rope and he's like this, when Ricky the Dragon is about to walk out the ropes, Starks hits CM Punk, who hits Ricky the Dragon, or something like, I can't remember who was who. Yeah. And then he hits Ricky the Dragon, who hits Punk, knocks him out the ring, and then he starts beating on Ricky the Dragon ass.
Good.
How did he get the belt?
He took it off his pants.
He took it out his pants.
He said, "Give me your belt so I can whip you with it."
Yeah.
Now, he snuffed him, and then he got on. He mounted him, and was hitting him with the fist.
And then he took his belt off,
and then he took his belt off, and then he whipped his ass.
And started whipping his ass.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
No, I will not.
Dirty work, man. This reminds me of the episode of Different World when they turned my favorite action star. They turned my favorite action star Bruce Leroy into a rapist. This how I felt. I felt like this was awful. You know what I'm saying? They really, you know what I mean? There's the booking committee over there. Tony, I don't know what y'all was on this week. You know what I mean? That's usually a pretty decent show y'all put on Saturdays that not a lot of people watch live. But you just made a bad decision, and you guys can come back from it. Now Ricky and Steamboat gonna have to trip him or catch him when he down at the shop looking for some new pearls or something. To go ahead and catch Ricky Starks on the low and then smack him a little bit and then just get him even and get him out of there. You can save the booking here, Rick, Tony. You can see what I'm saying? It's Tony's job to let them off the hook. You see what I'm saying?
I don't like Dwayne Wayne looking at him like that.
Dwayne Wayne knew better. Dwayne Wayne know this nigga is rapey.
My God. He said, what?
I know you ain't take it. He said, yeah, she's an alley cat.
If y'all didn't catch that, if y'all haven't been watching Different World like I've been watching Different World, you're not going. Oh,
if you never watched A Different World, you wouldn't fucking know.
He said, "You let them off the hook." He was a whole rapist.
Yeah, they're supposed to say no.
Yeah,
that's what he was explaining. He's like, nah, see, they supposed to say no, and it's our job to let them off the hook.
And
Like, I was watching what's the Muslim nigga that's his hairline going back, but he's still trying to save it, and they Tariq Nasheed, what's the brother? Either way, it's one of these Muslim niggas that be thinking
Umar, nigga.
Not Umar. He's a tall, like well-dressed Muslim guy, always wear a bow tie, you know what I'm saying, of course. And he like me, that's my guy. Nah, but he combed his hair and he got these, he looked like the little Ralph Wiggins, you know what I'm saying? Because either way, that nigga always talking about like, yo, you know, RZA Islam, thank you. RZA Islam be talking about toxic masculinity is something made up by white men. Nah, toxic masculinity is Garth from goddamn a different world, where he said they're trained to say no, and it's our job as men to let them off the hook, baby. Toxic masculinity, it's niggas like that out here.
The big fact.
Do you guys watch
this nigga?
Ew.
This is RZA Islam.
The irony of this is that I thought RZA Islam got caught up on some of the same charges, but never mind.
Do you guys watch Below the Deck?
No.
Below the what?
It's about cards.
What's Below the Deck?
Why did Phil ask that question the way he
did? It's about cards.
Deck.
Below the Deck.
No, I'm not watching that.
What did you think I said? What did you think I said?
He said, "Oh, Deck."
I don't have that channel. She's still watching Spice Channel.
Gotta watch it through the lines. No.
Below the Deck is a show about sailing, boating, charter, like boating charters, and
a bunch of decks, all decks everywhere.
What's a boat
charter? A boat charters when you go on a boat, like you charter a boat for 3 or 4 days and you live on the boat, like, and you dock in the middle of the sea. You can swim in the middle of the sea. Like it's niggas with money. Niggas with money. Watch that. Money. So it's like a reality show.
Oh, thank you for telling me I'm broke.
so it's about the crew. And this week's episode, I remember watching it at the beginning of the episode, the beginning of the season, and the bosun who takes care of the ship. So he has a crew that he takes care of the ship, but he's called the bosun, like he's the head janitor per se. And then there's a chef, and then there's a head housekeeper, and then there's the captain. The bosun was one of the stewardesses. She was new, she was cute, and so she was like flirting with him, but she was flirting with him, but she wasn't inviting him. And so he in his confessionals would say stuff like, yeah, she's playing hard to get, but I know she wants me and she'll get me. Like he was saying these words, like right, like he was saying it. I was watching these confessionals and it was like, yeah, she thinks she doesn't want me, but
in 2023, this is the thing that's on TV.
And lo and behold, this nigga this week
writer strike
turned around and they all go out and they get sloppy drunk. And at the end of the day, you can, as a person and as a woman, I truly believe if you decide you want to go out and get drunk, it's your prerogative to get drunk and you should feel safe amongst your coworkers, period. Right. And so he decided, she kept saying it in the car, I feel like I'm going to pass out. I feel like I'm going to pass out. She goes in the house, she gets in the bed or on the boat, she gets in the bed and she goes to sleep and she wears a mask, like a eye mask. And so she's sleeping, passed out. This nigga got buck naked and got in her cabin on her bunk, and they're bunk beds. So her roommate didn't even come in the room because he's like, wait, what's happening? Thank God the producers were like, no, you need to leave. She was passed out.
Oh, okay. He ain't take it though.
Man, you didn't get that nigga off the boat.
That's crazy.
They got him off the boat.
You gotta get him off TV
that night.
That's what I'm saying. How is that on TV?
Off the boat, off TV. He needed, nigga. You need to go to some classes.
What? He was saying some stuff. I was like, he don't sound right. And lo and behold, the episode I missed, there it was.
A bunch of damn nasties.
He got his whole deck out.
Right. And that's the head. He's the head. They call him a
bowman. The who?
A bowman.
So he fired. They put him off. They put him off the show
that night. Yep.
The Bow House.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about that.
It was on Bravo.
Yo, ain't nobody know they ain't sell honey barbecue wings no more.
Oh my God!
I don't know if they sold honey barbecue wings for 20 years.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about KFC at this point. I don't know what KFC does.
I don't like this feeling.
Of what?
This is the second. This is the second place I went. And the first time, because I haven't ate this kind of shit in a long time. I don't mean to derail the conversation, but I haven't ate this shit in a long time. So I go to. Well, I said Bow House, so I was thinking about chicken, but I haven't ate this shit in a long time. So when I pull up the Taco Bell and order a Maxi Melt, and them niggas look at me like they like, yo, you just got out? I'm like, nah. And then I order a chalupa, and they like, yeah, we don't sell that shit no more, cuz.
Yeah, they be moving that stuff around.
That would be a great TV show of niggas just getting out of jail and finding out stuff that's gone.
That's not here no more.
I can't get nothing from Oak Tree. Well, I'm going out tonight, baby. I just came home.
Junebug used to live right there.
Where is merry-go-round? I need to get me some IOU jeans.
Jesus Christ, I love the IOUs too. God damn. And
they don't wear these no more.
And the bar shit was so. They had a special denim on them bitches. The weave was different, like and a locked on that hole. But I pulled up the KFC asking for the fucking wing, and they're like, "No, big homie, we don't sell that shit no more."
They didn't say how long. They don't know how long they had that shit.
I backed out of that motherfucker. I ain't back out, but
Maxi Mouse was like 60 cents, yo.
I'll never order.
Maxi Mouse was like Taco Bell's version of a regular cheeseburger.
Delicious, yo.
I never had that.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Let me get 19 Maxi Melts.
That'd be $8.
$5.49. You said 19. We got 18. You good with that? Yeah. Throw 18 in there and then give me a nacho supreme.
Mexican pizza.
Fuck.
I never did that. I never did that.
Delicious.
Mexican pizza?
No, Maxi Melts.
The Maxi Melts. I don't know nothing about that life at all. Was there any other pro wrestling we need to get into?
Oh, nigga, we talking about fucking.
Hey man, CM Punk said titties on TV and it made me giggle.
CM Punk is. Oh, that was what I was gonna ask. Is the CM Punk Ricky Starks? Are they going to be having a match at All In?
Nah, he wrestling Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
On Saturday, right?
I thought that was at All In.
I'm asking. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's at All In.
Let's confirm. So what's Ricky Starks doing? Nothing?
He might end up wrestling Ricky Steamboat like Jericho.
Disgusting.
CM Punk. It's not listed on Wikipedia. Hold up. CM Punk, Samoa Joe.
This is disgusting.
When are they wrestling? They just wrestled too, right?
Yeah.
They let Omos get busy in that Battle Royal too. That was fun.
On the other night, yeah.
There you go, Cal. You don't know what a Maxi Melt is, nigga.
I grew up with money. If I didn't know about the Maxi Melt,
them bitches was dead.
I didn't have a Taco Bell in my area till like junior year.
Yeah, me too.
They might
Taco
have
Bell
gone
wasn't
already.
big in did I even business with Taco Bell? I think I did business with Taco Bell till I was in college.
It was Taco Bell was way late to my area, to be honest with you.
That shit was in our area in the 80s.
I didn't get that shit till high school.
Yeah, that was a suburban thing.
I didn't get
well, fuck you, man.
I didn't say that.
What? Y'all was in the suburbia.
You know exactly where.
The suburbia.
Y'all was in the suburbia. I saw the pictures in the background with the houses in the background. Don't act like y'all from the hood. Y'all not from the hood.
Wow. This turned into something else. Samoa Joe challenged.
I'm gonna drop you off in Deer Run Court. When you make it back,
this turned into something else. Taco Bell wasn't in my area, bro. You trying to talk about people with money? My area didn't have no money. We didn't have disposable income for no damn Taco Bell till like 97 or some shit like that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
McDonald's was a treat.
Facts.
That was a treat to everybody.
Yeah, that was a treat.
Yeah, everybody mother said, ask us if we had McDonald's money, knowing we ain't had no money. Except for that one time I did have McDonald's money. She was like, well, shut up. I'm still not stopping.
I didn't have McDonald's money.
You got McDonald's money?
I have it. I do got it now. Now what we doing?
Where we going? Samoa Joe issued the challenge. CM Punk hasn't accepted it yet, but that'll probably be the match.
Hey, has anybody seen Twisted Metal?
I haven't watched it.
I want to watch it.
Have y'all seen that picture of Samoa Joe? That unfortunate promo picture that they have of Samoa Joe and Falcon up against he had Falcon up against the slot machine, and it looked like
they was making love.
It looked like Falcon was the slot machine. Like, I didn't like it. I watched it today. I watched the episode where Samoa Joe had turned Falcon into a slot machine, but the show was funny. It's I didn't realize it was a comedy like that.
Oh, it's comedy?
Yeah,
it's pretty funny.
Voice, it's just his body.
Correct. Which is
I didn't realize that either. I thought he was a character. His character was a mask.
He whipped Tupac's ass for a good minute.
No pun intended.
Look at him.
That is the wildest thing.
If he had his foot against the back of his head, I would be appalled.
Sweet Tooth said, "Booty, I like booty."
On that note,
appalled.
We got to get out of here. We really got to get out of here. And the only way to get out of here.
I've been watching this Korean horror series too. All of Us Are Dead or something like that.
All of Us Are Dead.
Yes, a zombie joint. Little fan put me on. We all watching it as a family.
All of Us Are Dead.
What place? What area? What?
It's Korean.
It's on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it's Netflix.
Okay.
Mimi.
Yang.
You got Black Rasslin of the Week?
My Black Wrestler of the Week as Darius Carter.
Damn, how about that? Number 15. Number 15. 15. Salute to Darius Carter. Fun time. If y'all didn't check the interview earlier, on demand, youtube.com/Black Rasslin. Brother Fam.
Hey, man. I've been waiting to do this for about, how long we been doing this? 6-7 years?
Something like that.
My Black Wrestler of the Week is also my favorite rapper, Booker T. Shout out to my nigga Booker T, cutting that promo. Niggas sent the shirt through. Niggas sent the third shirt through. Shout out to Booker T. You know what I mean? Stevie Pooh. You know what I mean? Little brother.
I would love to play the video. I feel like we would get in trouble though.
Nah, I don't think we wouldn't get in trouble for the beginning. It's that when the songs start playing.
When the songs, Jesus. One of these days, I'll figure it out. Brother man.
I'm going with Rio. Rio won the I think it was the title women's wrestling championship. If you don't know Rio, overseas, one of the few African American women talents that's overseas that gets highlighted. Very dope. Check out. She won the title, women's wrestling title.
Facts. That's what's up. My Black Rasslin of the Week, even though she didn't end up leaving Detroit with the title, I gotta give it to Bianca Belair. I was glad. I think honestly, Bianca Belair may have been why I retained, because I bet on Black in that match. And she won. We didn't bet on any type. I wasn't even thinking about EO actually cashing in. I'm sorry.
Nobody was.
I'm sorry. Maybe next time. No.
Shut up, Paul.
Oh gosh, Mimi.
What?
Where can the people find you on social medias?
Y'all know where to find me. On the Twitter machine. Only.
Listen, G, Captain Consistency, Fam79 on your social media choice. You already gonna know who I am because I've been there before.
Don't follow me.
Say less. At Cal on Twitter, at Black Rasslin on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BlackRasslin.com is the website, but as always, you can find the Black Rasslin Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, wherever you get your podcasts. We should be there. YouTube.com/Black Rasslin. Every Thursday night, 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're giving you 5 mics, a podcast in excellence. You already know the vibe. Patreon.com/Black Rasslin, where you can pay the $1 or pay the $10 to get content like this. But we can't put it on here because YouTube would kick us out. Shouts to everybody who's been rocking with the content. Hell, me and Brother Fam, we recorded a podcast club episode on the Halftime Heat. If you ain't watched it yet, you can check it out after this. Once again, salute to Darius Carter for coming through. Really appreciate that. And that's why y'all need to stay locked in 8:35 because you never know
Who's gonna stop by.
Who's gonna stop by
in this bitch.
That's all I got for this week. Catch y'all next week. New Jack, please take us out.
Like me or not, I didn't come up here to be liked.